So for filming purposes, my name is Angela with Aging is Not for Sissies, and we're talking about nutrition as we age. And Brad just went to the grocery store and got us all kinds of good food. But the first session, we talked about components and diet and what makes up a healthy diet, and making sure that half of our plate looks like fruits and vegetables, quarter of it looks like grains, another quarter of it's protein and a little bit of dairy. Our grains are supposed to be whole grains, ancient grains. And then session 2, we talked about the nutrients that are important, which are potassium, calcium, vitamin D, vitamin B12. So making sure we've got all that we are being optimal. So now we're going to talk about longevity and maintenance and how to deal with our barriers that we have to deal with that keep us from eating healthy, and how to have a healthy lifestyle. So let us talk a little bit. Let's see if I can, this is where it went out last time, Diane. So I'm going to try sharing the screen. And keep our fingers crossed. And
there we are.
We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so far so good. Okay, so longevity and maintenance. And we're going to talk about nutrition, physical activity, and how to reduce our stress. So, first of all, they state that the amount of physical activity we need is 150 minutes per week. So breaking that down for the whole week, I'm thinking that's like 20 to 30 minutes a day. Okay, something like that. So if we're active, and that's what, you know, the Surgeon General says, and the National Health Institute states that we need to make sure that we're active at least 30 minutes a day. Now, I always make sure we've got some cardio mixed in there, you know, to strengthen our heart. We've got some strengthening in there to build muscle and to build bone. We got some stretching in there to maintain flexibility and range of motion. And we've got balance and making sure that we're maintaining our balance, and all that helps. So, you know, y'all notice that all my classes have a little bit of all that in there, and that's really important. Some of the things that, you know, some people are trying to fitness and exercise to lose weight. Well, if we can start maintaining a healthy lifestyle first, then the losing weight and all will help to just go in all there together, hopefully. But I had given y'all a handout back in session 2 about the number of calories and that everybody might need. So the number of calories, and this is not on a slide, but it was one of the handouts, that women that are not physically active need about 1,600 calories a day, moderately active 1,800 calories a day, and very active is 2,000 to 220 to 2,200 calories a day. So that's for the women. So, you know, 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day for the women. For the men, not physically active, 2,000, 2,200. Moderately active, 2,200 to 2,400 calories a day. And then active lifestyle is 2,400 to 2,800. So that gives you an idea of what calories we need as we get older and how active we are. So if you're out, you know, chopping wood, pulling trees that have fallen, and or digging in the dirt or hiking, you're definitely going to be more moderately active to physically active, and it may need a little more calories. So looking at that, like I said, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. Y'all are already active. Y'all have any questions about the fitness part of it?
I don't, but I also was thinking if you take our silver sneakers classes are on average 45 minutes.
Yes.
That's like 3 of those pretty much hits your number of 150 a week, correct?
Yes. Yep. And so, and I know the other days that you're not doing them, you're still active doing something.
Doing other things,
And I
yeah.
know y'all. So you're, you know, this is for somebody that obviously needs to get up off the couch more.
Well, that wouldn't hurt either, but you know.
Yes. All right. So that's the physical activity part of it. The stress management. So a little bit of stress that's been going on lately in the world, and definitely affects inflammation. You know, the cortisol levels and those hormones and all that increase definitely affects the amount of inflammation that we've got in our body and dealing with that stress. So I'm just giving y'all some ideas about how to deal with stress. Besides exercise, getting out in nature, nature bathing. You know, you probably have heard that, forest bathing, being out in nature, slowing down, taking your breaths. The 4-4-8 breathing, where you're breathing in for through your nose for a count of 4, holding it for 4, exhaling through your nose for a count of 8. If you're able to do any kind of sequence of that to where you just focus inward and focus on your breath, and a lot of times that'll also help you go to sleep at night. So 4-4-8 breathing, guided imagery. You know, there's all kinds of different things out there that you can listen to, that you close your mind and you visualize going to that special place wherever you relax. For me, it could be the beach or the mountains. But if you've got that special place that you like to go to relax, somebody had said sitting in front of the fireplace, you know. So, I mean, have y'all got a special place that you go to in your mind that you would want to share? No?
I think mine is water. I'm not a great water athletic person, but it's always been a calming, whether it's even just a small water fountain inside the house where they, you know,
Yes.
it kind of recycles, and it's the silence and the quiet and solitude. Waterfalls, the ocean, the waves.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is very soothing. And so if I have a rough time of it for a while, maybe I'll just kind of close my eyes and pretend I'm somewhere else.
Yes. No, that's good. And I'm right there with you. Obviously, yoga is supposed to help with relaxation, turning your thoughts inward, meditation, music, certain music. As a recreation therapist, I've had the opportunity to be able to interview a lot of people and find out what their interests are. And it's interesting that some people have said, no, I do not like music. I do not listen to music. And that's such an outlet for me and a lot of people that, you know, those people that don't like music, they have to have something else that they go to that help them to relax. But I know from y'all and from seeing y'all's posts and things like that, that you like music as well. But, and then stress management can be humor. It can be getting together with your family and your friends, and, you know, even if it's via Zoom, and blow off some steam, or have your own happy hour via Zoom, you know.
That's every Friday afternoon at 3:00. Thank you.
Yay, good. That's great. So that's really very, very important to maintain optimal health, is your fitness, your nutrition, your stress management, vitamin D exposure. Yes, you can take in vitamin D through our nutrition, but getting outside, especially going into these winter months, if we have seasonal affective disorder, you know, you can get those lights to be able to help you to deal with just having the light to fight depression. But getting outside every chance you get, getting some sunshine, 10, 15 minutes even, I think is what they recommend each day, and help our body to fight. You know, during the winter months, and especially with us going into this pandemic with the winter months, how do y'all think you will deal with exercise for the fitness regimen?
As long as you're going to do it online, I'll be there with you.
Okay. Yeah, good Lord willing, and the internet cooperates, I will.
Yes.
I will be here.
Because I don't see us getting back to the senior center at all until maybe next spring. I just don't. And unfortunately, it's going to be a stressful situation for a lot of people who
Yeah.
can't. I don't have equipment. I have found over the years that having equipment in my house sat there and I didn't use it. And I'm not sure I would want to go to somewhere where there's a gym right now. It's not so much for myself, but I have somebody in this house who has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be bringing something home and end up being sitting here scratching my head thinking, how am I going to quarantine now?
Yeah.
So that's the big thing is trying to stay safe yet still function.
Yeah. That's understandable. You know, I mean, the virtual classes like, you know, mine, of course, silversneakers.com, it has excellent programs. Even getting outside with, you know, family or friends and walking. Obviously, if there's not snow and ice on the ground. We don't have that very often, but we do. But yeah, I mean, virtual is the best bet, unless, you know, Bradley, I don't know if you've got a treadmill or a whatever there at your house.
No, usually if I want to walk, I just go out up the street. It's pretty quiet here on our little street, so it's a pretty safe walk.
Yeah.
And
Walk the dog.
is, yeah, it is. Well, the dogs don't walk too well, so it's more standing if I take them out. But it is uphill. We're here on Crown Mountain, so it's can go over the top of the mountain if you're really enthusiastic. That's what Cheryl and Laura do every morning. Go over the top of the mountain and down by the post office.
Yeah, gosh.
But me, I just walk up to the corner and back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about halfway on a rather good incline. Let's put it that way. I won't say it's a mountain, but it's a very steep incline. I see one gentleman and he has, I don't know what happened to him, but something got him out. And I think he might have had some health issues. He walks down, turns around in the cul-de-sac and walks back up every single day. Every single day. And I've seen him lose weight. I mean, you could actually see him over the past year losing weight. And I think maybe I ought to join him. But then I look at that hill and go, oh my, I'm not sure I can make it back up.
You know, a step at a time, but then you have to think about, you know, what's going on with back issues or knee issues and whatever other issues that we have going on. So yeah, obviously nutrition and fitness and stress management, very important to help us to stay healthy. And maintaining, getting back to those barriers that we talked about. I think we can all have barriers for nutrition, fitness, and stress management. So y'all had identified, and we had identified some barriers. Did we come up with any brainstorming, any goals to be able to, or action steps that y'all would want to share?
I think my biggest barrier, unfortunately, is the habit of to break the habit of a meal in the evening at 5 or 6. I would prefer it be earlier, but I can't break that habit with another person. So that's what becomes a bit of a problem. So I try to space out during the day my little meals. And then I don't do huge meals at night, but there's always vegetables and stuff. Then what's ever left over becomes lunch for tomorrow, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's pretty much that's the best I can do with that habit, unfortunately, now.
Okay. So just breaking it down into smaller meals, using them for leftovers.
Yeah.
And letting your
My
other,
portion control. Yeah, my portion control is pretty good for me to be able to do that. You know, I can have smaller amounts of portion in the evening. I just have found that if I eat past 7 o'clock at night, I'm miserable. I just don't function well. I'm miserable. So if I can eat between 5 and 6 or something like that, less amount,
yeah.
but then maybe I'll have the rest of it a couple days later for lunch.
Okay. Well, it's good that you found out what works for you.
For me, yeah.
That helps you sleep better if you're
Oh.
not eating too late.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just have to make sure I don't purchase the things.
Yeah, the shopping.
Veterans Day is 15% off at Paul Thomas Chocolates.
Oh.
And
Did you make a run today?
No, I told my husband, I said, don't do it, don't do it. But working a menu, I know Bradley, you had mentioned about the differences of eating there in your household. Did you have any steps or anything you want to share?
Well, it seems like lately, everything's been kind of a moving target. Laura has things going on helping with her aunt and such as that, which keeps our schedule kind of up in the air a lot.
She's been busy.
But usually as the months get colder, it begins to settle down. Fall is always kind of a difficult time anyway, with holiday stuff going on. Of course, the COVID epidemic is kind of squelching a lot of holiday things we would usually do this year. So making it easier to maintain some kind of consistency, but it's still, it's a moving target to hit to try to maintain. And anytime two people with different tastes and everything, it's always a compromise. So it's difficult to work out a compromise on what to eat and how much to eat and when to eat.
Yeah, I know that when somebody's in and out of the house a lot, that's tough. But I've always found that, and I'm a planner anyway, but having a menu for the week, for the days that, and we even take it and say, okay, I got to work late that night, so we're on our own for supper, you know, or each day take it and have a menu for whatever either your biggest meal is, if it's lunch or if it's supper. But plan it out. That way, when you go to the grocery store, you've got it figured out, and whether that person eats it the next day or y'all eat it together that evening or at lunch. But planning it out, being more structured, having a grocery list, that way they can input on what they want to eat, and hopefully, like Diane had suggested last time, order it ahead and pick it up from Walmart so you're not tempted, you know, walking through the store hungry.
I typically would do that.
Yes. So that's,
And always end up, and you know, you're at that counter where you're waiting in line to check out.
yes.
Always, invariably, there is something that really entices me to jump into my cart and have
Yeah.
it come home with me.
Those Mounds bars just want to jump right into my cart. But
Yeah,
I also love going to the grocery store and picking out the vegetables and all
yeah,
myself, um, and helping my memory. So you just got to find out what, what works for you. But I think having a menu really does help.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that. Food for thought.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, the hard part is that the time investment
Mhm.
in planning and making a menu.
Yeah,
Ideally, probably Sunday should be a day to just spend all day cooking and getting ready for the week, but
I-
it doesn't work out that way.
it used to be that way when I was working. That's exactly what I would do, would be doing, you know, 2 or 3 different big things, or something large enough that it could be switched off to do something else during the week with it. Um, don't do that quite so much, but when I do make things like spaghetti sauce or chili, I make a huge batch and then package it into the freezer,
Hmm.
because that way I know there's something in that freezer. If we need it, I can go ahead and pull it out and we can move on and watch it or not. It helps me to prioritize how we're going to eat and what we're going to buy, which
Mhm.
keeps the cost down.
It does. And if we can all have, whatever our barrier is, if we can end up having one thing that we try to change, not
Yeah.
think of everything, but maybe just start with one step, um, then that's one step toward, meeting our goals. So little changes, little attainable actions, as it says, relying on social support. So I think I told y'all that definitely want to, with that Facebook open group,
Mhm.
I may even call it a nutrition group. Um, but that way we can share recipes. Like I'm going to share one with you here in just a little bit. And if y'all got some really good recipes that are healthy, and don't give me your chocolate multi-layer cake recipe. That's something that you find is healthy, whether it's desserts or it's something that's savory, a way that you like to fix butternut squash, but we definitely need to help each other out and get more people hopefully involved in helping us with our habits and our lifestyles. And I think once we change our lifestyle and what we're doing, then we see the results. And y'all already know that. That's just in life.
Yeah.
That's common sense type stuff, even though doing it is a whole different story. And let's see if we've missed anything before I get into showing y'all the recipe. Some resources. World Health Organization obviously has good information. myplate.gov, silversneakers.com. They've even got some nutrition stuff on there as well. This is where this was based from. The National Institute on Aging, the International Council on Active Aging. Y'all might have heard me talk about them. They are excellent. Their website is www.icaa.cc because they are based out of Canada.
Ah.
And so excellent group. Of course, virtual and in-person fitness classes with Aging is Not for Sissies. Obviously, I'm going to say something there to promote the classes that I have at Silver Sneakers, and just some good resources for you to rely on. And the choosemyplate.gov's got some great things. We talked about stress management. See if we've missed anything here. Any other ideas that y'all have about fighting barriers besides action steps?
No, I can't think of anything right now.
It's just
It's one of
doing
those, well, it's one of those things you kind of have to get into it and see how it steers you.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're never too old to change,
No,
right?
of course
That's right.
not.
And change is good for us. It also builds new brain cells. Did you know that? So,
Mhm.
yep, it does. So making sure that you got the information that you need. Let's see if there's anything else. We talked about the recommended activity, about so 20 to 30 minutes a day, and definitely taking care of yourself food-wise, physical exercise, stress management to maintain how healthy we're going to be, to keep our immune system strong, to fight this crazy, stupid pandemic thing that we got going on here. So we got to help ourselves. So take it into, next week. What are you going to be able to do to help yourself? I'm going to show you a little simple recipe. Were y'all able to see that on the Facebook link that I posted?
I didn't. Did you post the recipe? I did not look for it.
I thought that there was a link on there, but if y'all are interested in the recipe, I'll just email it to you.
That'd be good.
Okay. So I'm going to email y'all the recipe. Yep, okay. So, going to stop sharing so I can get back. Let me move some things around here. My husband and I have tried to rig until we start using the camera. This to where it's going to come down. So give me a second. All right, can you sort of see what's going on here?
Yes.
A little bit?
Yes.
Okay. So what I've done, this is no bake oatmeal peanut butter protein bars. And so I've got obviously my mixing bowl and I've got my recipe here. And I'm going to first start off, it calls for rolled oats. Well, I'm gluten intolerant, so I've got gluten-free rolled oats. And it calls for 3/4 cup. So I'm going to get my 3/4 cup in here. I am not a chef by any stretch of the imagination. Show that anybody can do this. All right, so 3/4 cup gluten-free oats. The next thing that it calls for is vanilla protein powder. And what I use is the Skinny Gut Ultimate Shake. However, they have stopped making this, which I'm in a panic. But any kind of protein shake or some kind of protein additive that you would want to add in there, but it calls for 2 scoops. I'm only putting 1 scoop of my vanilla. You see all the remnants here floating around. Then it calls for powdered peanut butter. Have y'all ever used powdered peanut butter before?
I haven't.
No.
No, and it is in the regular, where the peanut
Aisle.
butter is,
Yeah.
just on a different shelf. And what you'll find is if you use the powdered peanut butter, it is going to give you a different consistency of what you see I'm going to do. I'm allergic to peanuts, so
Oh,
I don't
good.
use powdered peanut butter. You can use powdered almond butter if you want to, okay? I use, for more protein, powdered goat's milk,
Ah,
okay? So it calls for a 1/4 cup of powdered peanut butter. I'm putting in my powdered goat's milk. And then I'm just going to mix that up. Making sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. Y'all are the chefs. And I'm just mixing my dry ingredients. This is a no bake, no cook recipe. Now then, I like adding in flaxseed meal. So you can, if you like chia seeds, I like a little bit of flaxseed because that's some added nutrients and protein. So I just put in a tablespoon of my flaxseed meal. If you are allergic to eggs, you can also use flaxseed meal to be an egg replacer. So have y'all ever used that as an egg replacer?
no.
No.
If you put water with this and mix it and you let it set, it becomes like a gel, like an egg yolk. And it also helps to, in cooking and baking, it helps to raise with the pies to be able to have a little bit of a raise there. You can also use coconut if you like coconut. So I add about a tablespoon or 2 of dried flaked coconut. So that is the dry ingredients, but you can also add like quinoa flakes.
Mm.
You know, there's other things that you can definitely add if you have preferences or you have any food intolerances. So I am just mixing all the dry ingredients up. Now, y'all may eat bananas every day. I don't. And if I eat a banana, I'm only going to eat like maybe half of it because of so much sugar. It's good in potassium, but I will only eat part of one. So I take my bananas and I will cut them up and freeze them. And already cut them. And so that when I'm ready to make my protein bites, I just leave them out for like an hour and they thaw out. And then I will put that in and find my fork wherever it went. So I'm just going to mash and work it until I get all the dry ingredients mixed into with the banana. Now, if you were using powdered peanut butter, then your ingredients, your finished protein balls are going to look better than mine. Because my daughter makes these and she uses the peanut butter and they're a firmer, more compact. I'm also going to add, you can add honey or I use agave. Agave has got a lower glycemic index for dealing with sugar and digesting sugar. So I put about a tablespoon or half a tablespoon of agave. Have y'all used agave before?
No.
Nope.
Mm.
So use agave. You might have had it in tequila, right?
That's right.
Probably.
That's a whole different situation there. The outcome is definitely different. So I'm not going to spend all my time mixing that, but then I add my chocolate chips. But these chocolate chips are not made with milk. They are allergy friendly, and you can also get dark chocolate. But if you don't like chocolate and you want peanut butter chips or caramel chips or no chips at all, you know, you can add slivers of almonds or pecans or what other type of protein nuts you might want to add. But I add about 2 tablespoons of my chocolate chips. And then I mix that all together. You can then, after it's all formed, you can roll it into balls and put it on, you know, I put it on parchment paper on a plate, make it into balls. Mine's going to be a little bit more wet, but then I use it as almost like drop cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I put all those, it probably makes about 12 of the balls, and then I put it in the freezer and then let them get hard. Then I will take them and put them in little Ziploc bags. So I have those just to take, you know, a couple after I do exercise. I eat a couple of them and let them fall out just a little bit to keep them in the freezer and take them with me if I need to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
What about raisins? Could you use raisins in them?
yeah, you could use raisins, you could use cranberries in there. Yeah, definitely. Whatever you like and prefer to incorporate in that. Any questions about that? That is something my daughter shared with me. I thought, hey, I can take that and I can take it with me
Mm-hmm.
instead of eating something that's too sweet.
Yeah.
I can have something that's got some protein.
Processed. Yeah.
Yes,
Something
or
got a lot of
processed.
process.
Yeah. So little things like that to incorporate into your days that's a little bit healthier,
Yeah.
more satisfying, more filling. Okay. Is there anything that y'all have that you eat that's similar to that, or something that you use as a snack that's healthy?
Just a chunk of celery every now and then.
A chunk of celery. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a filling, you know, I mean, it's fiber, a lot of fiber in celery. It's very filling, and I find that, okay, a full stalk might be enough for a snack sometime mid-afternoon or something like that if I really hadn't had a big lunch.
And isn't it like celery that you actually get negative calories because it takes the chewing?
I think so. It's the chewing and it's the digesting.
It's the digesting. I've heard that.
It takes a bit to digest it compared to,
Get it out of your teeth, but no, that's good. But you could put goat cheese on it. Yep. You know, peanut butter, almond butter, whatever. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Carrots, something healthy. That helps. This helps to satisfy my sweet tooth. So Bradley and I have episodes with our sweet tooth from time to time.
That's right.
Well, I think I need to try and figure out how to make some. Figure out what I've got and what I need, and try and see if we can't have some of that hanging around.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, most of that stuff you're not going to find at Walmart.
Right.
Local.
Right.
You know, some of it I find at Publix, because I know we go down to Publix. But I've ordered some things like the quinoa, you know, I've ordered from Amazon.
Yeah.
I go to Sprouts as well. But there's things like that that you can get. But All right, anything that y'all would like to add? Any final thoughts about eating healthy as we get older?
Can't think of anything right now.
It's just doing it.
That's right.
Yeah. It's actually eating with my oral situation. It's more of sometimes I just don't feel like eating because there's no flavor. There's minimal saliva, so it has to be something that I can easily digest. It's one of those things where you adapt,
Yeah.
and hopefully, when you're really hungry, you eat. Otherwise, it's not always something you're looking forward to. It's just I cook for someone else more than for me. I don't.
And it may be such that, you can make a shake that is easier for you to, a healthy shake, I should say.
Right. Right.
That's easier for you to deal with. It's got the nutrition in there.
Yeah.
And that would be a
And
change.
I've done some of that. I got a really great Ninja, not the bullet, but the other one. And so that gets used quite a bit for not just the adult beverage mixes, but for the morning shake or mid-afternoon decide, hey, I really am hungry, so let's have something to snack on and make a small one for myself.
Do y'all find it frustrating that you can't eat some of the things that you used to in the past?
I do.
There's a lot of that, but I don't know how frustrating it is. Taste change as well as what you're able to eat also. So, there are things that I used to love that don't really care for anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So changing as we age, or changing with our body and its needs. I know I didn't never like cantaloupe growing up. I preferred watermelon, but now I like cantaloupe, so different things. All my wonderful food allergies, somebody says, well, what do you eat then? You can't eat eggs, you can't eat rice, you can't eat this and that. So it's more paleo, where it's the meat and the veggies and the fruits, and substituting in some ancient grains and stuff. But good. Well, if you didn't learn anything that you didn't already know, hopefully it at least allowed you and encouraged you to think about what you're eating, maintaining what you're doing, or making a one-step change, especially as we go through the holidays. And that's helping each other.
Yeah.
So feel free to send me something that you want to post on Facebook. I think there you would be able just to go in and post a recipe. I'll definitely post this one and email you the recipe so you can adapt it to what you want. But thank y'all. Y'all are so wonderful and patient and great.
Reinforcement sometimes is what you need to, is what I have found. And I think what you've been going over reinforced in my brain. Okay, you've got to get better at doing this, or you're okay at this. So I think that helps a lot.
There's not a magic pill. You just have to keep doing what you're doing and making little changes as you can. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll see you around. Tell everybody hi.
All righty.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Yep.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.